Hello everyone. So what I'm going to do here today is I'm going to make a Paracord Survival Bracelet. As always, stuff you're going to need is you're going to need a slide buckle. Right there. There we go. You got your slide buckle. And it really doesn't matter the size of the slide buckle as long as you have a slide buckle. What I suggest is also having a binder clip. It's one of these little binder clips. That way, as you're measuring out paracord, you can take the end, put it at the edge of the measuring tape, and then you can just take and clip it into place while you measure it out. It just makes your life easier instead of just going, oh, I messed up and I lost my place. You're also going to need something to cut it with. So a little X-Acto blade is what I use because they're fairly accurate. A lighter. And you're also going to need your paracord. Before filming this video, I already went off and I actually need to recut this piece because I cut it too long. And the first time I went to record this video, it wouldn't work right. So I need to redo this cutting. So it's a good idea to show how well this binder clip works. Putting the end at the end of the measuring tape, I'm going to get my final length. Now, when you make a Paracord Survival Bracelet, your best bet is to take. How you're going to measure your wrist is you're going to take this piece. You're going to put it on your wrist, and you're just going to hold that end in place like that. And then where the end of it connects to the paracord, you have your length. I've already measured it, and I have an 8-inch wrist. So at that 8 inches, or since it's 8 inches, I should say, I need to measure out 8 feet of paracord. This is a 10 foot because I thought it would be a lot easier for me to do 10 feet or a 10-inch bracelet, and it wasn't. So I'm going to recut it and redo the video as I'm doing right now. So I'm going to measure it out to 4 feet. Then I'm just going to loop it back around because I don't have an 8-foot wall on any of my room, or any wall of my no room in. Ah, damn it! I'm stumbling over my words here. No wall in my room is 8 feet, so I'm just gonna measure out to 4 feet. I have no idea what that was. But anyway, continue on with the measuring. Probably help if you had another binder clip laying around, you know. So I hit the 4 feet, and then I'm just going to double it back around to the other end and cut it off. So I'm just going to make a little loop and then take my razor knife and just cut it like that. So just cut off that 2-foot piece right there, so I have my 8-inch bracelet, which is my 8-foot piece. And since I cut it, I have to seal the end. So since I have to seal the end, I'm going to take and pinch from the one sealed end. I'm going to pinch the outer casing down to the end that was just cut. I'm going to take my lighter. I'm just going to burn the end and seal it up because I don't feel like dealing with 10 feet. I really don't. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take your ends. You're going to line your ends up. neck and neck. You're just gonna straighten them out and get your loop, which will be your identifier for one part of the bracelet. So I'm just gonna keep it going down, make sure. Okay, good. Then I'm going to find what I did on my buckle. There it is. I'm just gonna snip off the male end to where I have the female end. The female end is the one that houses the innards. This would be the male end. This is not what I'm using right now. And I'm going to take that loop. I'm going to pass it over the top, technically, of the bracelet. So that way, or no, it's going to go through the bottom. And then, no, it's going to go through the top. I can't make up my mind tonight. Oh, bloody hell! Or however Londoners or people in the UK say it. I don't know. I don't reside in the UK. What I'm going to do is, I have my loop right here. I got this loop. And I have the two free strands that lead to no loop. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the loop. I'm going to grab the strands and pull them through the loop. And then I'm just going to pull it and tighten it on the bar that the loop is on. So that way, you kind of end up with something that looks like that. You got that right there. Then, I'm just going to straighten out the strands, make sure they're kind of equal on the end, and they are not. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push a little of the other strand through the loop, and then pull it so that way I have somewhat even strands like that. Then these strands I'm going to take, I'm going to pass over the top, because you don't want this to go through the top, or through the bottom, because then it'll show and you're basically going the wrong way. So just gonna move it down, 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 come on. There we go. And we're gonna take our thing, find end to end where 8 inches is, and we're going to just put the male buckle at that 8-inch mark. So we have that. That's my 8-inch mark right there. And what we're going to do is we're just going to fold it. Then we're going to take the part with the loop, and we're going to make sure that's on the top. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our right strand, pass it behind the loop, over the left strand, and make a little, just make a little loop right there on the side. So that way when we take our left strand and pass it under the right and over the loop, we can put the left strand through it. And we can pull it. And that pretty much just signifies that that's our 8 inches right there. There's no deviating from that. And I'm just going to make sure it's 8 inches from end to end, and it's not. So I'm just going to loosen, I'm just going to pull some of this paracord through, because I like to be really accurate in a lot of times, because that's the basis of your work. If you are really accurate, it shows that you pay attention to detail. And if you pay attention to detail, things go so much better for you. Okay, so I think I have enough let out. Yep, 8 inches, good. So, I'm just going to move this down, point this down a little bit. Come on. There we go. Wow. That is a large video file. Anyway, so since we went right under loop over left strand, we're going to take the left strand, which is my left. Actually, it might be your left too, because I have mirror mode on my recording software. So we're going to take the left strand, pass it under the loop, over the right strand. So now we have the right strand right here, and our left strand right here. We have the loop made by the left strand, And what we're going to do is we're going to take the right strand, pass it behind the left strand, over the loop, and through the loop that was made on the left-hand side, making that our new left strand. So, because I push things forward, you should have something that looks like that on the male connector end. Oh, I kind of need to move it down, don't I? Oh, there we go. So, then you're just going to continue. And if you want an in-depth look or refresher, I have another video where I did the same. It is literally the same braiding technique that I did in my paracord lanyard video that I uploaded the other day. So, if this video doesn't turn out, because I have it set to 1280 by 720p, so if this doesn't turn into a fairly decent video, then I don't know why. So passing it over again, you get our next set. Then you're going to take the left, over right strand under left strand, over loop. And you're just going to alternate. You're just going to alternate these and maybe push up the loops a little bit after you pull them through, so that way it's a little tighter. That way you can be sure you have all your paracord on it. So right under loop, over left strand under right strand, over loop, through hole that was made by right strand. Left strand under loop, right strand under left strand. Right strand while under left strand goes over loop and through hole. So now you can see that it's coming together. It's coming together now. Right strand under loop, left strand under right strand, over loop, through right strand hole. Pull. And just going to squish it up towards the male connector a little bit. We're just going to keep repeating this braid until we get to the very end. When we get to the very end, as the same as my lanyard video, you can either, if you have enough, you should be able to force out one more loop. And if one side is longer than the other, you should be able to force out one more loop. Unless the shorter side is right there through the last loop you made, just cut off the longer end and burn both ends to the bracelet, because you're not going to be able to force it out. And then you can just, if there's some space at the bottom near the female connector, then you can just loosen it up, loosen up your lanes, I guess you could call them, stitch braids, whatever's these. Loosen them up a little bit by pulling them away from the male connector segment by segment, because you don't want to pull the whole thing, because you may snap the brittle plastic bar, as I did twice while making these. So, just going to keep pulling, just keep doing and pulling, keep doing and pulling, keep doing and pulling. And you can, while a lanyard doesn't take a lot, a lanyard does not take a lot to make. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, whereas a bracelet's a little more intuitive. And it'll take you a little bit longer to do a bracelet. I can do a bracelet in 7 minutes. It's just taking 13 minutes so far to do this how-to video. Funny how that works. Part of it might just be my pointless rambling, but yeah. So you're just going to keep going. And you also want to make sure that these two strands right here, these don't get tangled up, or they don't get switched over like that, because that's not good. That will actually hinder your progress, because then you got to figure out where that happened, what exactly you were paying attention to, because obviously if you were paying attention to it, you wouldn't have missed that. And you're just going to keep pulling and going through the same repetitive movement over and over and over again. Ow. My fingers are kind of numb. This is the fourth one I've made tonight. I can't. They just hurt. My fingers hurt. Burns, bruises. Man. But then I haven't done any paracord pieces in a while, and the last one I did just messed me up. It literally just messed me up. I got that last loop wrong, so I have to redo it like that. I had to redo it. I did 2 of the same repetitious moves on one side, and that just messes up the whole project. So you're just gonna keep going down, keep going down, keep going down, keep going down, keep going down. You're gonna go down on it. Down, down, down. And it burns, burns, burns. Because my fingers are on fire. My fingers are on fire. Just gonna keep doing the same repetitive movements over and over and over again. And I'm pulling it just to see if I can force out quite a bit more than I could. Because this might be a tight run. Which you know is never bad. You can always cut off any extra and then burn it like that. But I don't like to waste. So if I can fit as much as I can, I'm going to do it, and I will, one way or another. So I think I can force out one more loop. Yep, and this is gonna be the last loop. If I can just get this part that's coming undone through. So now what I can do is I can now loosen up the braids that I pushed forward, just in case I didn't have enough. And as you can see here, it reaches all the way to the female buckle, the female connector. So, like I said, I'm not going to be able to force out another loop from that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to burn them. I'm going to burn them. First off, I want to melt this white bit because, as always, it comes out. Yay, fire! Fire! Excuse me. That was disgusting. Should have taken my own advice. Don't breathe in the fumes, because they are disgusting. Ow, that shit's still hot. Ow. 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 And you're just gonna... That black part right there is one of the ends. So you can just take that and do that. I apparently seem to be having a problem with my casing. Ow. There we go. So the other one, I'm just gonna, because it's a little bit long, I'm going to take my razor knife and just cut through it, make it shorter. The less waste you have, the better your final product, because it really sucks to waste. I mean, especially when you pay almost $3 for a 50-foot bundle, you don't want to waste it. You want to get as much as you can for your current project, because then you do that and you're pretty much on your way to success. Sorry, I've had a couple of drink. Well, more than a couple, but I'm beginning to think I'm just naturally tongue-tied because a few beers shouldn't do this to people. So there you have your Paracord Survival Bracelet, which slap on your wrist if you can get around there, if you're pretty dexterous one-handed. End to end, 8 inches. Apparently I don't have an 8-inch wrist now. I don't know why, but it's pretty difficult to slip it over my hand. This is the 8-inch. This is the 8-inch one. This is the 10-inch. And I can just slip the 10-inch one over without using another hand, but the 8-inch, I gotta slip it on. I literally have to use another hand. So, it's good for you if you got someone in your family, or you can use it as an armband. If I can fit it around my fat arm, no, I cannot. Where exactly will this fit on me? Okay. I have a fat arm and it's not even up to my elbow. So, that's the 10-inch one. The 8-inch only goes up to about there on my left hand. 10-inch on my right hand goes up to almost my elbow. 8 inches about halfway there. So, and like I said, these are paracord lanyards, paracord bracelets. They're extremely useful. Because if you're caught somewhere and you don't have rope, but you have one of these, you're going to want it. Because I can tell you, from my own personal experience from 4 years as a Boy Scout, we used paracord for a lot of things. We used them to wrap our axes, blades, our little pocket knives, just everything. We built our shelters with it, you know. It's phenomenal stuff. It is awesome. And this is actually a pretty fun hobby, so, you know, if you ever get the inclination to do so, go stop by Home Depot or some other shop like that and see if they have it, because chances are they might. And just drop off at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or some other craft shop and see if you can get slide release buckles. Because, I mean, they're just fun to make. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but they're fun to make. So, I'm going to get started on my next project, which should be up in the next few days. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like, or share it around to someone who you think might like it, because sometimes you need a video tutorial, because pictures and text don't do it. Text and pictures, sometimes they don't do it for some people and they want a video tutorial. So, thanks for watching.